Peace and power, Drop Nation. What's good? This is King Drop, man. Just wanted to give you a quick, bit of energy, a quick burst of energy in your week. Yo, this brother gave me a great burst of energy, man. This is Captain Kush, man. Check it out. Subscribe to the King, man. He's always just kind of dropping on relevant things, giving, some people say, you know, you just need to have all these books in front of you and this documentation. Sometimes, man, you just gotta let the ruach flow. You know what I mean? And stop trying to find that perfect, perfect person, perfect delivery, perfect source for you. You're going to have to suffer these things yourself. I mean, you're going to have to gather this stuff on your own. The people you see dropping you, whatever, they have, at least put some effort into trying to gather a part of this and a part of that. So what we do here is we drop it. I see somebody drop, I drop it. Does it mean that, this person got to be this and this person got to be that? Nah, this person just got to be relevant to whatever the energy flow they flowing on, man. So kings to this Captain Kush here, man. The king is real strong in spirit. And yeah, man, he dropped that drop. And I didn't actually expect him to even go into it. I thought he was going to just talk about Snoop. Snoop dropped the whole thing about roots and not supporting it. And, he just reminding us of just captivity. And even more than that I don't know if he's getting yet. Snoop, as far as they keep putting the image of you getting on boats from off these ships that they cannot prove ever existed. The brother's going to go into, where are all the forests that they cut down for these thousands of ships? We should see, some evidence of all these damn ships, not just sketches. We go through our whole life, 30, 40, 50 years, and not see one slave ship just abandoned somewhere with all the ships. We know they took us from here by the thousands, but did they take us from across the Atlantic by the hundreds of millions? Where's the ships? All right, so the king's going to go into roots and all this kind of stuff, man. Y'all do you. Watch whatever you want to watch, but, have a perspective about it, man. So kings to this king right here, Captain Kush. We're going to just chill out and just let the king flow. I believe this is about 10 minutes, man. And, hey, let it flow, man. Love to y'all. Let go.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all social media. Yo, I think I'm going to call this video, I agree with Snoop, and we should boycott the roots. Right? So let me let y'all in on something. Roots came out, the original, I don't know, way back when I was a shorty. I never watched it. I've never seen the Roots, family. I didn't think it would be conducive to the mind of a child, especially having learned about what I learned about slavery in grammar school, in a public school too, mind you. And we all know if you learned in a public school, if you went to public school, most of the history that they taught you is lies. We all know that. How do we know this? This is not even no conspiracy thing. When you were in school, who did they teach you discovered America? Get my point? We all know Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, so why were you learning about that in school? Why were you learning the history of him coming here with pilgrims and doing what they did to the Native Americans? And mind you, they completely wiped out in the history books a lot of history and recordations of who all was on this land when he got here, right? That's the history y'all need to dig for. Who did Christopher Columbus find here when he got here? It was multiple copper-colored races, what he described in his own words, right? Mind you, Christopher Columbus came from Europe with Africans, with so-called Africans, what you would call Africans, right? That helped them enslave and capture the natives on this land. Now, most of you know what I'm talking about because you read the book They Came Before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima, right? Some of you haven't. You need to look into these things. You need to read that book. Get that book. Read it. Own a copy, right? This is real shit. We think we're from Africa. We're not from Africa. We call ourselves African Americans. Mind you, that is a fictional status. How can you be two nationalities? It's like a oxymoron type situation going on. See why these labels don't work? We call ourselves African Americans. We've been called Negroes, niggers, colors, blacks. And mind you, who came up with all of these labels? Who came up with these labels and terms? You need to ask yourself that. Why you calling yourself I'm black and I'm proud? Who labeled you that? Who started calling themselves black? Like these headphones you see on my neck are black. My sunglasses are black. Hat is black. Now look at my face. But they want to broadcast the roots to us, right? With the 440 megahertz frequency. Got you on a dumbed down frequency because that's not our frequency. We don't operate on it. 440 megahertz coming through the TV, coming through the radio waves. Right? You need to ask yourself these questions. Like, if we came from Africa on these slave ships packed like sardines, where are these slave ships? Like, let me see just one slave ship and not like a sketch of it, like a picture somebody drew, like from imagination. Like, let me see like an actual slave ship in a museum or something. Like, what forest did they cut down to make these ships with? Right? Where did they get the wood, like the supplies, like any of that? Like, how do you, like, okay, if you're transporting millions of slaves across the Atlantic where it's freezing cold, right? You can't navigate that type, like, I'm not even going to go into that, but let's say, okay, they claim more than half of the slaves died on the trip back to bringing them. So that means if more than half of your profit is dying and you're throwing them overboard, then where's your return on investment? How is slavery even profitable?
Right.
Doing it that way. How is it profitable to bring millions of people only to have millions of people die before you can even get them to the land? That doesn't even make sense. But it would be profitable if you enslave the natives that are already on the land. Mind you, check this out. Malcolm X said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Right? Right? Read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass. What did he say in there? The Negro does not know that he is native to the land called America, or the Americas, right? Because there's multiple Americas, family. North America, South America, Central America, right? We need to know these things. We need to start asking questions. Like, start breaking this shit down. Like, turn off the TV. Like, I stopped watching TV in 2012. It's 2016. You'll be surprised at the wealth of knowledge you can gain. Right? Reprogram yourself. Stop following somebody else's program. I know we like to romance and fantasize that, you know, the roots and the history that they tell us about ourselves is real, but we know they are lies. So why even entertain the lie? When you entertain a clown, you become part of the circus.
Right.
I ain't with the Ringling Brothers shit, man. I does my research, as you can see. But yo, yeah, I'm with Snoop on that one, man. Like, boycott that shit. Niggas don't even know real history, man. And niggas need to start watching Hidden Colors, all of that. Like, that's, and mind you, that's entry level shit, kid. Like, your niggas need to, and they still talking about the whole Africa thing. Like, your niggas need to be doing research here. Find out your ancestry and about your ancestry here, because they've been hiding it from you. Right here in America. Yes, you are an American. So niggas was clapping at Raven Simone and all of that. Mind you, you niggas are dumb. Calling her coons and all of that. She understands nationality.
Now, I don't know Raven Simone, so I don't know what she understands. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she did mean it in that way. Like, I don't want to be associated with you black people. Or maybe she had to drop. Maybe she was saying, look, I'm an American. I'm from the Western Hemisphere by blood. Stop trying to put me somewhere else. Again, the earth is one body. It's all alive. Every part of the body has melanated people that is indigenous to that particular part of the body called Earth. Australians don't say they come from Africa. They say they're indigenous to Australia. You got people in Belize that say they come from Belize. You got people in Europe that are melanated people from Europe and France that have been there. The whole migration out of Africa thing, it's taught in schools with Columbus, because what happens when you take all the melanated family on this one body and you make them specific to just one part of the body, right? You make them enamored to one part of the body, indebted, a mother of one part of the body. But then you read all the substantiating evidence of these two floods and how with one of the flood, America was the first part of the body to pop back up and start inhabiting people. So you have people that are becoming indigenous here. Again, your oldest pyramids are here. Your oldest commandments are found here in stone. So you have the oldest products here. And you say, why? Say, oh, they flipped everything. Black is white, white is black. The old world is the new world. The new world is the old world. West is east. North is south. I know it's effed up, man. I know they're messing with your mind, man. But when you know it for sure, what are you going to do about it? Come back to reality? Fight through the static? Or just keep the joyride going, man? This king's doing a great job.
Right? Because they got you trying to make claims to a land that the people from the continent that you claim you're from, they don't even claim that you're from there.
Right.
Right? Why hasn't no nation from Africa, no country claimed quote unquote African Americans or blacks? It's because you're not from there, family. You're from here. And the world is pissed off at us because we accept everybody's everything. We make hip hop, we let them take it over. Right? They enslave us, give us a religion. We take that religion, program ourselves with it. We even distance our families, our own flesh and blood over religion.
True that.
This is what they showed you in Roots. They gave you Bibles and shit, G. That's to program you niggas.
And we know that they gave you they gave you the new, or the old. See, this whole old and new thing comes from them to begin with. The fact that we call an Old Testament or a New Testament lets you know that somebody came and divided something or cut off something and began a new something. So when you have the Renaissance in the 1400s, you have the rebirth. But rebirth of who? Again, we can tell, we know by the images, we have photographic evidence to show us that these Romans, all right, these Spaniards, these kings and these princes in Europe at the time that we were being rolled up on by mercenaries were as dark as you were. King Charles, Quinto, King James, all these royal people. You got to understand who was ruling Rome, especially from 193 AD up until those 1452s with the Battle of Constantinople and the rebirth or Renaissance when they sent those white mercenaries. That's what they were. They weren't even Spaniards, because Spaniards are dark. Little recon shows you that. So they came over here with what we're calling now the New Translation or Testament or all this stuff, where they hijacked and gave you an idol and said, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun. You go to your quote-unquote Old Testament, you're my begotten son. I'm redeeming you personally. I'm punishing you personally because you had order and you went in their ways. Now you got a new way, a new testament, a new covenant, a new promises. Israel knows that our new covenant comes with our redemption. You can't have a new covenant without your redemption. You can't have a Mashiach who doesn't save you, literally. Comes and goes and then says 2,000 later, I'll come back for you. And leaves us in the Greco-Roman captivity. And then says, I'm coming back in a couple thousand years. When your quote-unquote Torah says the Creator's coming back to get you. The Creator's coming back to lift your vibration. Oh, but now we got somebody else to look forward to, right? That's the hijack of your energy. So he says they came with the Bible. I'm understanding they came mainly with this Greek New Testament. Because if your commandments are found here in Los Lunas, New Mexico, going back 1000 BC, then clearly that's before the hijack. That's before any colonization. So your people were rocking. Or a tribe of people were rocking. Not everybody. So what tribe are you? Were you rocking with what's in stone there? Were you rocking with the sun pyramids and the moon pyramids? And we're going to get to the acoustics a little bit. Coming out that book, Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids. But yeah, let's go, man. And so that's the hijack. He's pretty much right there nailing it. But I'm just clarifying it for our discussion, for our journey.
Niggas need to unprogram yourself. It's F5, man. Captain Kush. Peace.
Great job, great brother. Great job, great brother. So let's I'm gonna do a little quick breakdown. Oh, gets real around here, man. Sometimes I gotta move some furniture to wake y'all up, or else y'all wouldn't believe me. Peace to y'all family. Yeah, man, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. It's a good day to feel this. It's a good day to hear some drop. It's a good day to do some reading. Yo, shout out to Michael Thompson, Copper Warrior. He really started kicking this. Lex Will started kicking this even before that. And I finally got my little copy of it. You know, it's only a few bucks, man. When you find it, you know, just go online. Look for this because it got a lot of good pictures, a lot of good drop. Of course, a lot of whitewash stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you can comb through it. Sometimes you'll find some images that, you know, when you see them, really wake your ass up. All right, so the brother kicked about Columbus, how they found us here. And here's an image from the book, Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramid. Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramid. And this is an image of what they found here. This is a palace, and this is an initial greeting with Bernal Diaz, Cortez, and all that kind of stuff. So they're meeting Montezuma and, you know, these Aztecs, quote-unquote Aztecs, quote-unquote Indians, whatever you want to call them. You see how dark these brothers are? You see Cortez right here. You see the difference in the melanated complexion. See the brothers in the background chilling. You see the palace? Look at the buildings. They found you here. They found this here. They found you here. The brother just kicked. We kicked the 1828 definition. Look it up. Click on the link below. 1828 Webster Merriam definition of American. The copper color races found here by the Europeans. The copper color races found here by the Europeans. They didn't build your buildings. You were not savages. Tribal wars are tribal wars. They're biblical wars. They call them mythology. All this kind of stuff that goes back a long, long time. We understood that we are, yeah, a melanated family, but it's a tribal war. Not everybody's for your seed. Not everybody's for your God. Your source, should I say. Your energy. Many people are rocking these pyramids. We're going to get to that. And that was the hijacking acoustics. Again, does the creator, the all-powerful creator, the all-powerful source, need your help with his harmonics on his natural earth? When you see these things are nothing but sound and harmonics and all this kind of stuff, you're like, well, why does the Most High, did the Most High tell Israel to create their own harmonics? To boost up their energy? Or is that out of order? Are we supposed to get it inwardly? Is our temple inward? And they're doing their shrines outward. That's the opposite effect, right? When you read, you know what I'm saying, how they rock in Egypt versus how we rock here, these are opposite effects. We say one God, you say pantheon principles, da, 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 da. But then we understand that these people are Atlanteans. So all these principles are Thoth, Tahuti. These are your Hermes. These are your Mercuries. These are your Atlanteans. These are your fallen angels. These are your Nephilim. There's no way around it. These are your giants. This is why Atlantis was sunken. And this is why they picked up in the 18th dynasty with the 6th king in Kemet. And the old stuff is here. The old pyramids are here. They didn't pick up into the 18th dynasty. I mean, that's what Thoth says in the Emerald Tablets. Moses the third, right? So they found you here, Negro. Negro. Negro, afraid of the wilderness. Negro, afraid of the wilderness. They found you here, Negro. All right. What else I want to get for you out of this book? It's a good book, some good information. I've been doing some quick skimming through it for some drizzle. Page 78. There's some good drop right here. I believe Copper Warrior covered this as well. This particular paragraph, but you can freeze that. This is Out There Cliches. Translated Out There Cliches. This is multiple sources. I found this and at least I know we had the other the Cachiquels. The Cachiquels. The history of the Cachiquels also broke this down. So go back to that drop. So it says, in a manuscript written in Quiche in 1554 by several Mayan Indians, its Spanish translator Pedro Dionisio Jose Chaney had this to say. So this is someone who translated it, and this is not the only person who translated it. It is supposed in the manuscript that these three great Quiche nations mentioned in particular are descendants. Now we're talking about the Quiche nations of who? The Maya. So-called Maya, right? It is supposed in the manuscript that these three great Quiche nations mentioned in particular are descendants of the 10 tribes of the kingdom of Israel, whom Shalmaneser reduced to perpetual captivity, and who, finding themselves in the confines of Assyria, decided to immigrate. The actual text ran, this is from the actual text, these then were the 3 nations of Quiches, and they came from where the sun rises, descendants of Israel, of the same language and the same customs. Okay? Same language, same customs. So, you know, these are your so-called Maya. Alright? This is what we just dropped. Now, we know they bent the knee to Baal. We know the feather serpent, all this great stuff. The peacock Lex Will was bringing out. Hiram Art was bringing out. Let Us Find the Truth is bringing out. Man, shout out to Smiles, Madison D, Hallway CH, Winford Holcomb. Everybody bringing out that truth. Smooth perspective. Shalak. Alright. What else? Alright, this last thing, and I'm out. I think. Hold up. Yeah, last thing and I'm out, man. Gotta go. So you got the pyramids of the Quetzalcoatl, you know what I'm saying, all the feather serpent, all right? So you got all this stuff. And this stuff is actually cool because it breaks down a lot of the math, the harmonics. Look at the harmonics, look at the math, all right, the tones. When we say that these are acoustics, these are artificial harmonics. And that's why separate research is showing that not only is the King's Chamber in Pyramid of Giza tuned to 440 hertz, which is the same as blasting through your radio, which is the same as what Nazi was using on his subjects, that scatters you, that causes you to be anxious, that causes you to be docile and just disconnected. It disconnects. Look at the somatics. Look at the site, 432 to drop. Google it. Put it up on YouTube. Somatics, CYMATICS. And see how the sand scatters in different mediums, whether it's water. I mean, just check it out. So, I don't want to lose my places of my research. Hold up. Alright, so I want to show you this. When I say you can tune your guitar to 432 just by tuning the A chord, and you can go on what is 432todrop.com, what is 432 hertz, click on the tab, and you'll see how to do that. There's YouTube links on there. And how, yeah, just one chord tunes your entire harmonic. So when we say A equals 440, separate from A equals 432, that's a difference between those 8 hertz. You know what I'm saying? And you tune that down, you're in a different harmonic just by tuning the A. Alright? So here's a depiction out of your mysteries of the Mexican pyramid. Alright? I mean, this is separate research. I'm just looking for, like, some drop about who these people are, and then this is what I find. Huh? What? All harmonics, peoples. All mathematics. Look at this. This is how this is what they're getting out of it. So I'm gonna try to read this quickly, and this is gonna kind of blow your mind, because this is the same research that we're finding what these harmonics are doing, and how it's creating a slave vibration. When Thoth says in tablet number, I believe that's tablet 1, that after Atlantis was sunk, Egypt was sunk in America. He hopped in the ship with the dweller, and the dweller said, "Go to where the barbarians are in the land of Kim, Ham, Kemet. They went to Kemet. He said these barbarians attacked him with spears, and he raised his staff and put a vibration on them and made them grovel at his feet and cower at his feet. And then he hypnotized them with magics and sciences, and that's when they started the mystery schools, and he gave them soul power, he said. He gave them soul force. Now, these are the people of Kemet. Now, who's ruling over those? Those are the dynasties, but those were the fallen angel Nephilim dynasties from the fallen people that they were coming from with these planets and all this kind of stuff. These planets are not real. They're energies, they're angels, and when they worship that, they worship the energy of these things, but it's all celestial. The celestial is the underworld because it's underneath the firmament. It's underneath the vibrational layer. They only connect you to 8 out of 12 of those musical tones are harmonics. You have 12 strands of DNA, so when they only connect you to 8 out of 12, those 4 higher heavens, you are not reaching there, and you're not reaching inwardly. It's disconnecting it from it all, and you're being bombarded with cell phone towers, cell phone technology. All your stuff is disconnecting you. You're going to have to let it go of this. You're going to have to physically let go of the slave vibration to free yourself. Now, this is out of page 275. Let's start right here. Creation is certainly mathematical and harmonic, with physical relations such as the orbit of a planet, the pentagonal divisions of a fruit, the spiral growth of a vine, or the shape of a honeybee cell, all expressible in mathematical terms. Even the structure of bones, nerves, muscles, cells, molecules, and atoms all appear to be governed by mathematical law. Mathematical law. Phi ratio, golden ratio. Phi. That's what they call the creator in math. Phi, because everything comes from phi. Everything breaks down to phi. The pyramids are built on phi. Phi. But what harmonic are they being tuned to? What vibration? Is that the natural one of the earth? The natural one of the creator? Or their mathematical law, their universal law? So universal law is Lucifer law. That keeps you inside of the firmament, the celestial. Their magic sciences, their mystery schools only go so high, so many degrees. They can only go so high until they get to that vibrational layer that they can't get past. Then just like Thoth says in tablet number 8, click on it, tablet 8. He said he has to run from the hounds of the barrier. What barrier? The barrier that disconnects them from Heya, from the throne, that you are naturally tuned to the harmonic of. And that's why they keep your eyes asleep. Because you connect far above them. Your order is far high. Your priesthood is higher than their priesthood. So they're all afraid. And out of fear, they act against you. So creation is certainly mathematical and harmonic with physical relations, such as the orbit of a planet. You're going to keep hearing about these planets. Remember, planets are angels. Think about that. Light, music, color, and even the table of chemical elements appear to be harmonically linked, were the human ear capable of discerning sounds produced by chemical action, we might perceive a musical harmony, or better, a symphony, in all forms of living. In the past, certain members of society may have just had these abilities. So some people can hear chemical actions as harmonies, musical melodies. According to Michael Helios, an astrologer. It's funny how close his name is to Helios. Michael Helios. Get this page. I'm right here with it. Pause it if you have to. I'll start here so you can pause it. I'll move up here so you can pause it. I don't know if I can show all that. Hopefully you can see that. That's where I'm at. Then I'm going to go there. And I'm going to go there. Alright, so I'm coming right out page 275. So according to Michael Helios, an astrologer from St. Petersburg, Florida, who has developed a theory called astrosonics, I'll look it up, which is the actual motion of the planets as they orbit the sun, makes sounds or creates wavelengths which affect a human being in different ways, more especially as they harmonize or not with the person's own birth chart. So you got what? Horoscopes. The worship of astrology. Why? Because they're worshiping the musical sounds. They're worshiping the vibration of what? The planets, the angels. They're worshiping Lucifer. They're worshiping the vibrations of Lucifer. I'll read it again. So this guy, Michael Helios from St. Petersburg, Florida, has developed a theory called astrosonics, the actual motion of the planets as they orbit the sun, make sounds or creates wavelengths which affect a human being in different ways, more especially as they harmonize or not with the person's own birth chart. By reproducing the various wavelengths of orbiting planets and raising these sounds sufficient octaves to be audible, Helios claims to be able to produce in people astrological effects as well. So he can use this stuff to affect people. Ooh. He's using astrosonics, the harmonics, to affect you. So why are these pyramids tuned to the vibration of planets and celestial things? The moon and sun pyramids? And you think this is a game? Or are they using that to raise the frequency of that sound vibration on earth? To raise the frequencies of fallen angels, Nephilim, Egyptians, Atlanteans, hijackers, invaders on earth, on the natural native indigenous people. Whether in Kemet or here, we are all melanated family, but we've all been hijacked by these artificial harmonics, by this artificial grid, the simulation of the simulation. We'll get there. So check it. By reproducing the various wavelengths of orbiting planets and raising these sound sufficient octaves to be audible, Helios claims to be able to produce in people astrological effects at will. Like Orpheus, who was supposed to be able to charm any creature with his lyre tuned to the motions of the planets, Helios says he can produce painful. Helios says he can produce painful or pleasant sensations in humans. So these pyramids can be tuned to your demise, or they could be tuned to a good thing, right? You can tune it to 432. Some pyramids probably are. Not all pyramids are under this particular deception, but a grid was set up against you. Now, Gurdjieff also describes a broad gamut of musical effects including the raising of boils on bodies with a tune. Right there. Read it. Can't make this up, man. I just came in here looking for Mayans and stuff, man. Some, drop on some language, some philology. And I get, like Orpheus, who was supposed to be able to charm any creature with his lyre, tuned to the motions of the planets. Helios says he can produce painful or pleasant sensations in humans. Gurdjieff also describes a broad gamut of musical effects, including the raising of boils on bodies. So they can raise diseases on you, man, just with the sound, dude. Damn. Citing the stock example of a glass shattered by a singer's voice because it can only absorb so much energy on that wavelength. Helios suggests that objects, and especially buildings on this planet, retransmit only if their proportions are earth commensurate or harmonized with wavelengths from the cosmos. So he's saying, my bad, I mean, it's a lot. You read it. Helios suggests that objects, and especially buildings, pyramids, on this planet absorb and retransmit only if their proportions are earth commensurate. So commensurate with the earth, or able to connect with the earth, or harmonize with wavelengths from the cosmos. So either, wow, I just got it. I hope you did too. I'm gonna read it one more time so you can get it. Helios suggests that objects, and especially buildings on this planet, absorb and retransmit only if the proportions are earth commensurate or harmonized with wavelengths from the cosmos. So he's saying that these buildings or pyramids can absorb or retransmit only. Here's the two things. One or two things. One, that they're earth commensurate, meaning that they're natural. So some of these pyramids and buildings were natural. Or harmonized with wavelengths from the cosmos. So either they're going to harmonize with the earth or harmonize with these fallen angels. So each pyramid really is a case by case. I start with the Pyramid of Giza. That's the popular one, and that's the one being separately, substantiated. Tuning. Anybody can go in this thing with a tuning fork, and you tell me what tune you get out of the king's chamber. What tune are you going to get? You do it yourself. Don't take my word of these books or anything. But we do know it's harmonics. So either it's going to give you a good vibration or it's going to give you a slave vibration. The same vibration coming off of your radio. All of your MP3s have been tuned to the same 440 hertz since 1951 by the International Standards Organization, the ISO, and even before that, the BSI. You look it up. So they can put boils on your body. These things retransmit or harmonize either with the earth or with the cosmos. He believes the yard, the foot, and the inch. Make sure this is good. All right. He believes the yard, the foot, the inch are more in tune with telluric and cosmic forces than the inadequate meter. All right, so everything's in tune with the cosmos of these people, right? So that's their grid, that's their cosmos, and that whole world, that whole celestial underworld, under the vibration above it, the firmament, the higher heavens, the throne, under the throne, the lower world, under the throne, under the firmament, the stars are under the firmament, the lower world, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother grid. That is your trap of space and time. These harmonics keep you trapped in space and time. Above the vibration, there is no space and time. You're free to go. You're free. You were born free. They hijacked you. They disconnected your DNA with sound. You see what they're saying? They can put diseases on you, so of course they're disconnecting. Why do scientists call your DNA that's not connecting in a double helix? The rest of it, those 2 strands, cool. These other 10 strands, they have a name for it, a highly scientific name. You ready for it? Junk DNA. JUNK DNA. Look it up. That's the scientific term for the rest of your 10 strands that have been disconnected by this frequency, the celestial frequency, not the frequency of Haya. All there is. Your source that exists, which you plug into. They disconnected you from all that is. And they put you in the celestial underworld vibration. And most of these pyramids are just that. There may even be wavelengths and receptive shapes which together generate natural growth and reproduction. Oh, really? Is that what we're talking about in 432? Look how they made it a theory all of a sudden. First, they can put boils on your body and diseases through frequencies. Now, here's a theory. There may even be, whoa, it's possible. These people are great. There may even be wavelengths and receptive shapes, which together generate natural growth and reproduction, effects attributed to the phi proportion, as opposed to other wavelengths and shapes which restrict or enchain. They gave you the entire drop. Please listen to this. Please, because this ain't coming from Kingdrop. Alright? Just this paragraph, pause it and just check it out. They're gonna give you the difference between 432 or a natural harmonic and 440, which is being resonated out of the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid of Giza right now. And again, these things could be hijacked. They could be changing the tunes. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what is resonating. We see what Egypt was. We see what it did to the native people. The Greeks call him this Poseidon that came in and took the native girl, killed her parents, built an island, mixed in with her. His first son was Atlas. The plural form of Atlas is Atlantis. So you're calling it a fallen angel turf. So Atlantis is not the real name. All right, that's just the hijack that's on the America, which is also, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're getting closer to what we call the land, right? We know the Egyptians call it Tamari, different things. There's two different Metaneta symbols for Egypt and Kemet, because Egypt itself was the fallen angel tech. And then they came in and they hijacked Kemet too. We're all victims of these angels coming in, mixing in with us, and putting a slight slave vibration on us. We see their harmonics. What does it say right here? Moon pyramid. Do you understand that they're using the acoustics of the moon or of the celestial? They are hijacking your frequency. Who told them to do this? This is all I'm going to ask. Who told them to do this? Did the Creator? All there is tell them to do this to his playground, his earth, his creation. Did he need this? Did the Creator need this to balance you? Or did somebody else have their high science and say, acoustic. I'm going to use my own acoustics. There'll be celestial acoustics, sun pyramids, moon pyramids. There may even be wavelengths and receptive shapes which together generate natural growth and reproduction, effects attributed to the phi proportion, as opposed to other wavelengths and shapes which restrict or enchain slave vibrations. They just told you to drop on slave vibrations. There may even be wavelengths and receptive shapes which together generate natural growth, 432, and reproduction, effects attributed to the phi, which is the natural. I told you phi is what they call the Creator in mathematics. See how this all comes together? So they're saying attributed to the Creator. As opposed to other wavelengths, celestial, sun, moon, all these other wavelengths they're measuring, and shapes which restrict or enchain. You understand? Slave vibration. And I mean, it goes deeper. It goes deeper. I'll just show you how deep it goes, and then, one day we'll come back to it. I'm just going to show you how deep it goes. Harmonics, math, slave vibration. Math, harmonics. Look how complex the slave vibration can be. Oh, ¿qué pasó? Huh? Slave language, slave vibration. So anyway, these are their mathematics, and again, what they do is they tweak the Creator's math. They tweak the building blocks, and since you're ignorant, you just fall in line with it. You don't ask, "Oh, I love this Rihanna song. work, whatever that, But if you're gonna work in a natural harmonic, what did they say again? There may even be wavelengths or receptive shapes which together generate natural growth and reproduction. Effects attributed to the five proportional creator. So if you're gonna listen to Rihanna, man, you're gonna listen to your Jay-Z, you're gonna listen to your Tupac, your Gladys Knight, your Phil Collins, who else? Octopus, who else? Oysters. You know what I'm saying, man. Whoever you like. Justin Bieber. Get your Selena Gomez on. In 432. Tune to our natural scale. Do your research. Choose a frequency outside of the slave vibration. What is the slave vibration? As opposed to other wavelengths and shapes which restrict or enchain. It's time to break the chains. It's time to break the chains, and it starts with choosing up, choosing order in your life, choosing order in your frequency. And the awareness alone is going to raise your vibration. Just by being aware, you're going to naturally start taking the aware steps, the steps to awareness. Again, that's what we promoted for it to the drop, is vibration awareness, man. So love y'all, stay up, suit up, choose up. Always, man, in swag frequency.